Hi there, this is AniBusiness with your friend Simeon. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. Are you thinking of going into goat farming in Nigeria? Maybe you are in diaspora and you are thinking of choosing a goat farming, or partially you want to mix goat farming in your pig or fish farming, and you are contemplating on how to start, what are the necessary information you needed to start. Here in this video, we are going to discuss how you can start the goat farming, what breed to choose, where to start them, how to take care of them, what they feed on, how cheap or expensive the goat farming is in Nigeria. My name is Simeon O. James. If you are coming across my video for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. All I deal with here is agriculture, livestock mainly. Of course, I deal with crops, which is plantation as well, but I devote my time more on livestock than every other aspect of farming in Nigeria, as I don't like wasting our time when it comes to video making. So let's start. Number one reason for starting goat farming in Nigeria: you have to know the reason why you want to start goat farming in Nigeria, and one of the reasons is to feed the nation or to feed your family. That is for commercial purpose or just for your family purpose. If you already have a farm and you just want to have a little area set aside that you want to be keeping goats to be killing for maybe Easter, Christmas, or any festive season, Salah, whatever Muslim celebration you want to celebrate, you can cut a little area of your farm aside. Then you have just a little structure and you start rearing the goats inside. Even it could be your house. At the back of your house, within your fence, you could just block a little place, cover it at the top, then you put your goat inside. You start feeding 2 or 3 goats that you have. So number one, you have to know the reason for starting the goat farm. When you know the reason for starting the goat farm, you will know how to multiply, when to multiply, and when not to multiply. You understand? When to kill, when not to kill, when to sell, when not to sell. They want to sort out for selling and they want not to sort out for selling. Getting a prolific one or the one that are not prolific. Getting the one that will be bigger or the one that is not going to be bigger. Getting the one that will cost you much or the one that will not cost you much. So the reason for starting will give you a good mentality or a good knowledge, a good idea on how to prepare yourself before you start. Number two, location to start your goats farm. Thank God, goats farming, or let me say goats majorly, are not the type of animal that are rejected in Nigeria compared to pig or any other livestock. Maybe either one of the religion discriminates about. Either the Christian discriminate or the Muslim discriminate, or let me say culture or the idols, herbalists discriminate against. Goat is still one of the major consumable meat we have in Nigeria. Almost everyone eats goat in Nigeria and there is no discrimination against goat in Nigeria. Either it is black, white or green. It is only the herbalist that will tell you, get me white, get me pure black, get me pure red, get me this, get me that. So everybody eats goat. So whatever location you start your goat farm is very good in Nigeria. Either it is in the east, the south, the west, the north, you're still going to make money starting a goat farm. However, for those who have a fish farm, I would advise you set your goat farm in a place that is a bit dry, not in a swampy area, because the waterlogged area will end up giving your goats foot rots. If they are walking in a wet area too much, often go to the wet area all the time. They live in the wet area. Every day you release them to a wet area, so they will be exposed to foot rot, which is not really healthy for their surviving. With this, wherever, anywhere, you can start your goat farm and you are going to make money, because everyone literally eats goat in Nigeria. Number three, the type of structure you need for your goat farming. Oftentimes, I've seen people imitate a lot of foreign things, which are good. Of course, yes, they are good. But most times we should come to understand that how they are doing it in the north is different from how they are doing it in the east. How they are doing it in the West is different from how they are doing it in the South. We all need to understand what works better for us. Of course, imitating their ways of constructing the goat house is a perfect way, is a good thing, is a very, very good thing. But it cost us more than our expectation. And when it comes to livestock farming, we should always have this idea of making profit, not spending too much on the structure. If the structure costs us too much, it will take us a length of time to be able to get the money we put into that business back. So a lot of us spend unnecessary money building structure, doing other things which cost us much. So there are simple structures we can do. We can do structures such as the one you are seeing in this video, and we can raise our goat successfully. Yes, some people do raise goat house. The purpose of raising goat house is to prevent or keep goats away from predators such as snake, scorpion, or any other thing that could be a problem to them. Also to keep them away from bacteria, and also to keep them away from food rot. These are the reasons why we raise goat house. However, you can make a simple thing like this. You do the concrete, you cement it very well, then you sweep it time to time. Make sure the floor is done in a slopey way, in such a way that even if it includes putting a tiny gutter, a drainage inside the goat house, do it so that whenever time the goats pee, the pee will flow down and go out, so they won't have to sleep on their pee, and you'll be sweeping the place time to time so that they won't have to be sleeping on their feces. You understand? So even the goat house you raise is still flat up there, although when they pee, the pee will drop because it is on wooden. Those wooden have little space that their pee can pass out. If you have enough money to do a raised goat house like that, it's advisable. But if you don't have the money, I don't know the reason why you have to kill yourself doing raised house, spending so much money to keep goats. You can do something simple like this and still have numbers of goats in your compound. Number 4, choosing and knowing the right breed for your goat farming. Of course, when it comes to starting farming in Nigeria, we often think of the breed to start with, which is a very good thing. I usually say the kind of breed you have will determine how much you are going to make, what you are going to get, the result you are going to get at the end of the day. Yes, breed are good, and it's one of the major vital parts of livestock farming. When you have the right breed, to get on with the business, it's not going to be a problem. But when you have a breed that at the end of the day you start having poor result, yourself is not going to be happy with the business, and at the end of the day you might get discouraged and not continue with the business. Most of us do think, okay, Boer goats, Kalahari are just the best goats to start with. Of course, they are one of the best goats to start with, but we should understand that these are some people's breed. And we have to understand that they might not really do well when they come over to our own country. For example, we have goats in northern Nigeria, which is Niger, that are bigger like all these Boer goats or Kalahari goats or whatever goats they call it. And they barely survive in some part of Nigeria. They may survive around those Maiduguri, Sokoto side, all this northern side that are close to Niger, because they were having the same weather over there. But when you start bringing them down to all this Lagos side, Ibadan, going to the east, majority of them don't survive due to the weather. Some of us that have bought all these goats before will understand. Some of these red Sokoto you are buying, majority of them are from Niger. Some of them are raised in Niger. So I've been to the north to buy goats for my subscriber before, and you can see it here. Most of these goats barely survive outside their location. So when choosing the Boer goats or the Kalahari, buying them from outside the country, please be more conscious of their surviving rate, and also have a very qualified doctor, a good one, a professional doctor that can help you monitor their livelihood, that can help you monitor their health, that can help you monitor their living and their surviving. If not, you might end up spending so much money bringing those goats into Nigeria and losing them. And that is why I would advise you embrace what we have here in Nigeria. Our dwarf goats do well too. They do grow and they are doing very, very fine. You can still get the Niger goats and take care of them if you have a very good veterinary doctor. A Niger goat, some of them are big, like I told you. You can use them to cross our dwarf, African dwarf here, the dwarf goat we have in Nigeria here. If you use them to cross it, you still have a good result from the kids they give you. So you have to understand that I usually advise our goats easily survive. They don't die that easily. They don't contract disease that easily. They go into the bush, they come back. Even some of these goats they are raising in the village, it is only when there is outbreak of disease that you end up seeing some of them getting sick or dying. If not, some of these goats don't even taste injection, talk less of drug, and some survive for a length of time. I have a goat here that my dad tied down. This goat has been tied down for more than 7 years now. Yes, I can say more than 7 years now. And this goat has been surviving here without any injection, no drugs, nothing. And she has given birth to multiple kids. I know you'll be wondering how my dad meets this goat. So he just take a male to the goat while the goat is tied down, and the male will meet the goat, and that's all. Sometimes he even stand there, carry the male, put on top of the female by himself, and he's getting results time to time. It was these days that I told him, this goat is old enough, maybe you should just ease this goat so that the goat can pee. Although it's not his fault, in the village where he stays, they plant a lot of cassavas there, and you know goats like cassava, so they just go there, damages it. So everyone that are allowed to rear goats, they are allowed to cage their goats or tie them down. So what am I saying in a nutshell? What I'm trying to tell you is buy our local goats. Start with our own local goats. Let's promote what we have too. Our goats are good. You want to buy the Kalahari and sell to the market. You don't even know, maybe the people here will value it. Even looking at our economics and now, average person, an average person that is earning a minimum wage of 30,000 naira cannot even afford a single goat in a month or 2 months. So don't kill yourself, disturbing yourself too much to go and bring outside goats come to Nigeria. Start with our local goats, multiply them, you have sales. If people that want to buy the one of 25 come, at least you will be able to take the one that is worth 25, sell to them. If they come for the one of 50,000 naira, you'll be able to take the one of 50,000 naira and sell to them. Of course, some of our goats worth 70, 80, 60,000 naira at the market right now. So don't bother killing yourself over starting with all this red shokoto or Kalahari or Boer goats. Start with our local goats and you won't regret the fact that you started, because their surviving rate is much more higher than other ones that are not used to our climate condition here in Nigeria. Number 5, how and when to sell your goats. How and when to sell your goat is really not necessary. How do you sell your goats? If you have goats, of course people will come to you. How do you sell your goats? You can take it to the market. How do you sell your goats? During Christmas season, you can pack them inside your truck. You go to the market, people will patronize you. So how do you sell your goods? You can go on as far as selling your goods online. How do you sell your goods? You can market your goods through billboard. So when people know you have this kind of thing, they will come patronizing you and they will buy it from you. Your goods reach maturity between that 7-8 months, going to 10 months. Your goods already mature. So some goods go as far as 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So, and all those goods now, they are matured enough for sales. Some of them even within 5-6 months. That's why I said earlier that some people will come to you demanding for the one of 25,000, demanding for the one of 18,000, demanding for the one of 30,000 naira. You could just go to your compound, because you have a lot of it. You bring the one that is worth their price and give it to them. So how and when to sell your goats is nothing too hard. Your goats reach maturity above 6, 7, 8 months, and at that point in time you can start selling your goats. People will come, there is market for goat in Nigeria. A lot of people are buying. How to sell your goat? You can sell to those who are selling food. On daily basis, they kill goats. You can take your goats to where butchers stays. They can start patronizing you. They kill goats all the time. I don't know about your area, but here in Ibadan, all this yalamala, this woman that used to say amala, they kill goats every day, every blessed day. And imagine in one area, like in one location, it is not just a single food seller that is there. So imagine we have like 10 food seller and like 8 or 7 of them kill goat every blessed day. So what if you are the supplier supplying to 2 or 3 of them? So there is market to goat farming in Nigeria, especially if you have our local goats that is not way too expensive for the canteen women to buy and not too expensive for them to cut for the consumer to buy. You understand? Raise the kind of goats that people can easily buy and can easily kill and sell to some people so that they can come back to you the next day to buy another one. So when to sell your goats, how to sell your goat shouldn't be a big deal. The thing is just as simple as your goat reach maturity around that above 6 months, 8 months, they have reached their maturity stage. So you can sell them at that point in time and make money.